What's up? How's everybody doing tonight? It's a should have gone to bed group here, -1, who's having some technical difficulties, freezing up, and I guess he's going to reset his modem. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
He says he just commented and said, "Give me 5 minutes," so he's got something going.
Who knows?
But if I think back to what happened last week, wasn't it him who was basically all over me for not having internet at my farm?
So yeah.
I believe that's the way that was. So
yeah, dude, I don't know why this screen is so bright tonight. Oh, there we go.
There you go. You got to turn it down a little bit.
Well, I had to turn that bitch off. That's that new screen I got. So it's
your TikTok light, like I got back here behind me.
My TikTok light's working fine. Like that puts out where I need it. It's just it's that screen puts out a lot of light, but hot as hell too.
Yeah, do you know we could talk about the biggest announcement in NASCAR
without
quite some time without divers. Like,
do you want to do that? Do we want?
Oh my God, can you absolutely imagine how pissed off? Like that is what his life is about right now.
Yeah, like that's
talking about this, and if we just covered it without him,
go ahead, just right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more exciting to talk about tonight, folks, than what happened with our buddy this week.
Oh yeah,
I'm good with that.
What you got going on there?
I was turning it on my phone, but no, I don't know.
So we've got a little chat that we can actually talk to each other behind the scenes that nobody can see. So as we're talking, he's typing "fuck you both."
So he's not real happy, but I mean,
that's what he gets for missing a meeting today.
Yeah. I mean, how is that? So let's go through what's happening with divers this week. You know, since he can obviously hear us but isn't here to defend himself, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about. Let's see. Today we scheduled a call at 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. DST, which stands for Diver Standard Time, because of the fact that, well, the world basically runs on divers' time. And so the rest of us get to work on that. So we set a meeting up with a team to talk about some car things and some stuff like that. And so the only person who didn't make the meeting at 2 p.m. Diver Standard Time today was Divers, who basically informed us that for some reason he didn't know how to tell his own time set. So it was, so that was a pretty entertaining thing with that. And now here we sit. I mean, you know, I can understand this is only like the, I don't know, 8th, 10th, 1st, 2nd week, whatever. How many weeks of should have gone to bed have we done? You know, you'd think he would have checked on this before. But hey, we live in Diver Standard Time.
Diver Standard. Well, here's the truth of the matter, right? How many times do we set up meetings and you say, all right, let's do it at 2 Central Time? He goes, fuck Andy. Yeah. Everybody runs on Eastern Standard Time.
The world is based on
Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
So now today, his piss poor excuse was, "Oh, I thought it was Central."
Yeah, exactly right. So that was his claim on his missing today. Divers, it's this is part of the fun. So he's actually. Now he wants in. I don't know that we could even bring him in.
I mean, all you're going to see is probably it's a black screen.
Yeah, so
it's not even bringing up a picture anymore, Diver. Why would I want to bring you in and we can't even see you?
Let's leave it there just for a little bit. And great.
Oh God, yes, but we can't see
hear me.
And actually, this feels like an improvement.
I feel like I'm on a Zoom call at work, and all the women of the Zoom call have their cameras turned off. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, like it never fails. I can get on a call for work and looking at all the women have the camera off because, of course, they didn't get up and fix their hair out. Look, you know how many meetings I sit in pajama pants and a dress shirt?
I called you out on it.
Yeah, you got me yesterday. We were on a FaceTime.
Yeah, we were on a FaceTime to cover over some web stuff.
This is Xfinity's problem. They don't even have the ACC network. And
is there a way you could just mute him?
Xfinity? No, I love Xfinity. Xfinity is my favorite. They're 5G.
Diamond, you got to do something.
I'm restarting the computer. You guys, I'm literally not going to hear what you say, so you might as well.
Hey, you could turn this on your phone. You'd just be a minute and a half behind us.
It's not as fun if you don't hear what we say.
That's actually a good idea. The problem is I don't have a speaker in my phone.
Your phone doesn't have a speaker.
Well, no, but I don't have the boom mic. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna have to.
Oh no, we didn't want you on to talk. We just wanted you to be able to listen to
hear us talk shit about you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We care more about that.
Yeah, we found out how the phone worked last week.
That was me.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing I'll say is if he's going to be gone for 5-10 minutes restarting his computer, maybe we should cover this announcement.
I disagree. Can you guys please hold yourselves together for like 5 minutes?
I mean, it's the biggest thing that's happened.
Yeah, I hear you.
In a year and a half of NASCAR.
We're going to see what kind of friends you are. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. We already know what kind of friends we are. I mean, shit, that almost was like him issuing a challenge. I actually wasn't going to talk about it until he had to make that ass comment.
So when he comes, so what we'll do, he don't know what we're saying. So what we do, we just come back and start talking about, man, and that couldn't have happened at a better time. Just some shit
exactly.
Like that. But then he'll be like, what the
wrap
fuck?
that segment up. Yeah. You know he's got this playing on his phone already. I mean, there's no doubt for me that he has his phone on.
I don't think so.
He always says, have you ever seen Divers without his phone on?
No, that's true. But he's not. I don't think he'd be watching the podcast.
I don't know. I'm watching the podcast.
Are you watching it? I got to share it. I forgot to share it already.
It's fun to see our lips move a minute after we do it. It's like I can take a drink, digest it, be reaching for my cup as I take a drink on the Facebook feed, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Like, so last week I had to do a big production for my company, right? Our virtual dealer meeting. And so I had it playing on the screen to my left, and I had the production piece over here, and I had a couple of different computers set up because, just with different stuff on it. And dude, it was killing me the whole time, like trying to focus on what was going on, but being able to see out of my left peripheral the delay. Mm-hmm. And like I'm sitting there, and my CEO is sitting behind me, like watching, and like he's looking at the screen and not looking at what I'm putting up, and doesn't realize there's a delay. So every time something was supposed to be on the screen, he thought it wasn't. So I was the whole damn time I'm sitting there. He's like, I'm like, what? It was.
I'm keeping up.
Yeah,
I'm getting it done.
Dude, I about lost my shit so many times, but it ended up being pretty good
fun deal. Well, this is work stuff. I mean, it's been a crazy week with everything in work, but like it's Black Friday next week. I don't know if you guys do. Do you guys do all your shopping online or what?
Yeah, I don't ever do any shit going out and fighting crowds. Like I think I've done it one time because there was something we really wanted to get, and it was too good of a deal to pass by. So like I literally went up there and like just bullied my way, not really bullied, but just kind of positioned myself where I need to be. Just went in there and did what I did and got out. I just can't sit there.
And so much of what we do in the office is, we do a lot of Black Friday sales for a lot of clients. And so this is just absolutely insane time of year for us. But, oh, my God, he's working. He's doing this from his phone,
He's doing it from his phone, yeah. But that announcement, man, couldn't have come at a better time. There's just no way that and
none of us were counting on it. It was, but it is pretty awesome.
But so now that's out, anything else we want to discuss?
Yeah, we can go ahead. We can talk about let's see. Anything else interesting going on in the world?
All right, no, I'm in, baby. I'm back in.
Such rough without you, Divers. I don't know how we survive.
Yeah.
I do like that shirt though.
Thank you, man.
So now he's a Chase fan.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Before long, he'll be showing everybody that he took a picture of him and his sister with her, or with Chase.
Oh, should I show that? I can show that.
Go ahead.
Why don't you get your sister to come on the show and talk about her meeting Chase?
I'll tell you what. We'll get my sister on next week. How about that?
Why next week?
Thanksgiving?
Well, Thanksgiving. I don't think we're going to do it next week.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so week after next, I'll get her on. How about that?
We can do it on Wednesday.
We could do it Wednesday if you want to do it Wednesday, or we could just skip.
I mean, much like the pitch, we're not disappointing. Well, we would do it live.
We always do it live.
Yeah, we're live right now. Do you forget that?
Live with her. I might go down there for Thanksgiving.
Oh, y'all going down?
Perfect.
Oh, y'all going down to Louisiana?
No, she doesn't live in Louisiana, Ray.
Oh, I'm thinking. No. Oh, yeah, she lives in North Carolina, right?
She does, yeah. Just outside of Fuquay, Verena.
Fuquay.
No, Fuquay.
Oh, yeah, like crazy shit, right? So Mackenzie, my daughter had, she turned 15, took her to get her license or her permit, and they're doing it. The only way they're doing it now because of COVID is you have to have appointments to go in. And we found the only one close enough that had an appointment within like a week was Fuquay Marina. So I carried her to get a license there. Everywhere else was like literally like December was the earliest you could get in and get to do a damn license. It was ridiculous.
That sounds about right.
We need to rotate these screens.
Is it bothering you so bad that it's
my gosh.
It bothers me?
Yeah, I really can't take it. You're always in the same place.
Well, but it's because I'm always the first one in.
Oh.
So okay, so you're what you're saying, Andy, is you're more of a bottom.
I'm fine with that. Oh my gosh, this is better. This is better. Oh, good. Why'd he turn his phone now?
Yeah, why'd you turn your phone?
Because we signed in. I did this shit all last week. And when you're on your phone, you can see like a quarter of the screen as all of us right now. When your phone's tipped the other way, you can see it better, but it shows the funny picture of, it puts the black bars on you. So, yeah, what he's going through, I spent a good amount of time doing last week.
Yeah, we're going to figure this shit out.
Great.
And while he's working on that phone, it makes me think we should go back to when he said, do you want me to show a picture of my sister with Chase? And knowing that he's filming on his phone, I'm thinking, yeah, why don't you show us that picture?
It's going to be a train wreck if he tries to do anything.
This is going to be amazing. It'd just be a lot of fun enjoying it.
I don't know what screen sharing looks like on this.
It's okay. I'll pull it up, Divers. Don't worry about it.
All right, so that's enough shit. Let's talk about the announcement, boys. I mean, this is the big excitement we've all been waiting for. We found out what everybody else did,
bullshit.
Call it out. Who wants to say it? That's all you, Ray.
So let's start with the story. So what about 4 weeks ago now? Longer? 5 weeks ago?
It's been a little bit.
So 5 weeks ago, we're all just sitting. I don't know what the hell. What he did. Our buddy Jeb. Everybody knows we work with Jeb Burton and become good friends and just a good guy. And I don't know, man. It's been several weeks now. We knew that he had been talking to some different teams, and they were trying to put some different deals together, and we were trying to help as much as we can, like we always do. And speak of, and
hey,
we got
Jeb.
we got a FaceTime, or actually Jeb said, hey, can we jump on a call? I think it was. And we were like, yeah, let's jump on a call. So he FaceTimes us, and he gives us the whole, he's sitting in his car. He's like, well, guys, it's over with. And we knew he went down to Colleague Racing to discuss some opportunities with them. And he said, well, guys, it's over with, man. It ain't happening. And we were all like we were caught off guard because everything
I believe he said we're going to have to work out a deal to run a few races at JRM somehow next year.
Yeah, that was it. And all of us were kind of like, we all froze because we were all pretty confident this deal was going to happen just because of the discussions we had. So all of us were kind of like,
yeah.
I've
got some good news, but not great news. Yeah, and that's where he said, we've got a chance to run some races. We're going to have to do it at JRM next year. And I believe it was Divers who sat there as the rest of us sat in shock and said, well, what's the good news? And that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then he Supermaned it. Like he said,
yeah,
blap, and showed us the Colleague Racing shirt.
Just ripped open his shirt.
It was like Superman. Bam. And we all lost our shit, and then we got to go in, and he walked us in, and we saw Chris and Brett and Ward there, and congratulations all around, man. And then later on, he actually sent us the video, I think that was circling around, and it showed them telling him. And I'll be honest with you, man. I mean, there's no way it could happen to a harder working dude, and my eyes sweated. I mean, it caused my eyes to sweat and
up a whole bunch of onions in the house.
When
I watched it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes were sweating. Just that feeling of joy, man, knowing that he's worked so hard and he's such a good guy, and that family is. I mean, once you're in that family, man, you're family. You know what 100%. I mean? So just knowing that he's finally got the opportunity that he's deserved for years. Let's face it. Right?
I mean, the whole Jeb story and Divers, I know you've got a lot on this too, but and the whole Jeb story of, what he had, years ago in racing and how quickly he was climbing and just all of the bad things that have happened all along. And I don't think there's ever been anyone who's questioned whether Jeb had the talent. I mean, he ran fantastic in a JRM car, finished 2nd through 9th, on basically every position. So no one had the question, but I think we all hoped, to see this story of someone who is basically done. He was really had no ride, no opportunity to race anymore, come back, get in a JRM car for 2 years and get a 33-week schedule with it. It's absolutely incredible. And to what you said, Ray, nobody deserves it more. I mean, I don't know all these other race car drivers, but I know a lot of, celebrity type people and stuff like that. And Jeb is, he works for what he gets, and he's loyal to a fault. And he wants to make sure everybody gets their piece. And, a lot of times that's put him back. Whereas I think this is an opportunity for him to be in the front. And I can tell you right now, he's going to win a lot of fucking races next year. Those colleague cars are badass. Yeah. Jeb can drive and he can be in a car every week. Colleague. Colleague. That's what I say. Colleague. I can't say milk.
He can't say fucking milk.
I didn't say colleague. Kaulig. How the hell did I say ing?
Colleague racing.
We don't even talk about how I had to practice saying nutrient.
Oh yeah! Oh my!
For some reason, man, I just couldn't get it out. It was like nutrient.
I don't know why it was always Neutrino.
So finally, I got it nutrient. So we're good now. I can pronounce the name properly. And we're excited about it for sure.
Jeb probably doesn't know this, but the reason he probably got that ride is they've been like, I don't know what you guys are doing for marketing, but there's this freaking trucks driving around taking pictures of all these nutrient signs, because I don't know how many there's nutrient egg solutions is all over the place around here. I'm in freaking Iowa, for God's sakes. So every time I was going through a small town, there's a nutrient egg sign. So I'd stop, take a picture, and text it to Brandon and Ray, just so that Ray could practice saying nutrient, because, son of a bitch, we were hoping this deal would happen. Yeah. Oh my God, that was a tough one for you to say. So
but we're super excited, man. I mean, like I said, we can sit here and talk about this all night. I mean, we're probably
gonna.
We probably are, because it's like
Divers is about to go.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna tell you. I'll say this, and then Divers, I'll let you explode. I've got
something else I got to do. So
not only was I excited about the announcement and all, but what really like pumped me up and even made my eyes tear up or I sweat even more was all the damn support he got when that announcement was made.
Yeah,
dude, for 2 days. I mean, it's still for 2 days, it was like, congratulations, Jeb. Congratulations. Couldn't ask for a nicer guy. Da da da. Then you had those fuckwads that we always have. Oh well, I guess so. Is Daddy ball? It's like, look, I lit one of their ass up. What's his Wayne from North Carolina? Me and Wayne lit some guys up from works with Divers. We lit a guy up. He's like, yeah, if I had Daddy's money, I could get the ride too. I'm like, you don't know the fuck you're talking about.
Wait a minute, does he really work for Alsco?
Wayne, yeah, Wayne. Ain't it Wayne?
Oh, Wayne was on your side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit. The way you said that, it sounded like you
I said me and Wayne
lit a guy up who worked for Alsco.
Oh, my
That's
bad.
what we thought. Okay. We thought there was some dick in Alsco that Brandon was going to have to have a COVID test with.
On Facebook, because it was like, two guys are going back and forth about how Daddy's money got him where he was. I'm like, you fucking guy, you have no clue. No idea how this shit works and what happens. There's no damn, like Ward, Ward is there to support him, but he ain't cutting no damn checks. And he's
got to keep that money saved for one of them fucking snakes bites his ass. He can pay his hospital bill. That's what Ward's doing right now.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Well, this was a rat snake here, and he kind of irritated.
Yeah, exactly right. It's going to get his ass one of these days.
Do you reckon we can get Ward on drinking with us when we're doing it? That's got to be. We need to get him up here.
So I'll be honest. I bet you prior to January of 2020, we absolutely could have. But Ward tried to drink with us at Jeb's wedding. I don't think he'll do it no more. I mean, he said
I couldn't even drink with y'all.
You could drink with us. You just emptied your system out well before everybody else did.
I could drink with you. I just struggled to stay drinking.
But you're a puking rally, so I mean,
No, the night he puked off the balcony, he was gone.
All right,
that's a private story. Gone. Oh yeah. Oh my God, you guys got to hear this shit. Hang on, before we get into these divers, since Amanda's there.
Yeah, so Andy's wife Amanda just put Ward is my favorite human, and that's true. Like she was giddy at the fucking wedding just to take a picture with him. Like, and which is the best picture in the world because Ward's like of short stature, and Andy outkicked his covers like everybody on this podcast. And she's how tall is she? She's taller than I am.
She's like 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, she's pretty tall, but standing beside Ward, like she's actually like you can tell she's kind of slumped down some, but he's still that much shorter.
So the best part, she met him in Martinsville back in 19 in March of 19. And Amanda has just always loved Ward. And, it was a guy I watched race and stuff like that forever. So meeting Jeb was a cool thing when he called into the office one day. But Amanda's just had an infatuation with Ward forever. I mean, she always tells me, she's like, I just want him to be my dad. He'd just be a cool dad. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Snakes to throw in bed.
Yeah, no shit. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, it's your choice, whatever. But anyway, so she's always just loved Ward. So when she put a comment,
I haven't gotten to talk about this thing at all.
Yeah. No, we're punishing your ass. This is the plan. But
I have a lot to say.
We know.
You just wait. We're talking about Amanda.
Get all our stuff out because we know
what's about to happen. Yeah. So anyway, Amanda makes her comment and shares a thing or something about Jeb making the announcement with Colleague Racing. And she comes in. I'm sitting she put the kids to bed. I'm sitting out in the living room, had something on TV. I don't know what the hell it was. And she comes walking in and she's like, I absolutely have to show you this. I'm like, oh shit. Here's a TikTok video I don't need to see. Anyway, she turns her phone and she's like, Ward commented. And so he wrote a thing on there and that just absolutely made her day that Ward Burton commented on her Facebook post. I'm like, well, that's freaking fantastic. But yeah, the whole family, amazing people. And Divers, we'll sit back and drink. Have at it, buddy. Let's hear your love.
Well, I don't really know.
Oh, that's all we got tonight, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the son of a bitch doesn't want to talk.
I'm going to say, we talked it up, and now it's like,
your dog's going to fall off the bed.
He usually does.
No, man.
If that dog falls off the bed, I'm going to lose my shit.
It's so cool. And I think the moment where it really hit home for me was listening to the SiriusXM interview. Ray, I don't know if you've got a chance to listen to that thing yet.
Yeah.
But Larry McReynolds asked him, what it's like, what the difference is, and what it's like, kind of going year to year, and if there was a point in time over the last 3 or 4 years where he was just like, what, I've had enough. This is just too hard. And yeah, I mean, you could hear it. You could hear it. You could hear the emotion. And I think that's what draws people to a guy like Jeb, to anybody that, you look at that has had success and, has to deal with adversity and deals with it in a very real way. I always identify with people who are, willing to be emotional about things, whether it's good or bad. And I've always appreciated that. I know you guys both have always appreciated that as well, about a guy like Jeb, who is, what? Hey man, it's okay to be emotional about, what you've worked your ass off for, what you've worked so hard to get. And, this is a huge opportunity. It's amazing. Because some people they get an opportunity because of a million different reasons, a last name, a connection, or whatever. But this is truly a situation where a guy has worked his rear end off to put himself in a position to get an opportunity because of what he's done in a very small. I mean, if you look at that 17-18 race, 2-year span for Jeb, where he made the most of the opportunities that he got, and then here we are, and now here we go. Now we go do, and he called it racecraft, and I started.
That's what we call it on iRacing.
Is that an iRacing term? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what we call it on.
So
that NASCAR guys picked that up from us.
Yeah. So I started thinking about like, all right, well, that's a good term. So, I love to order pizza on Thursday nights, and so I'm thinking about calling it Pizza Craft. My pizza ordering craft.
Would it be an order craft?
You would think it would be a delivery craft. I'm really not sure. I'm still working on it. But all
you're learning
aside,
your way.
I am. All kidding aside, I think it's amazing, and we all probably can't say enough how excited we are for 2021, how excited we are for Jeb, how excited we are for that partnership, how excited that. And you look at a team like Kaulig, who is, look, they're on the up and up, man. Like they are
big.
They are
the crop right now.
Absolutely, and they're coming into their own. Haley made the Final Four. Chastain would have been there had he not have gotten in some situations. Probably at Texas, most of all, where he had a car to win. So I've got no doubt Jeb's going to be in victory lane next year. I hope we're there. When it happens.
That's going to be the hardest thing. I mean, it's going to be a bitch to go to 33 races. So that's where I think this is. And guys, I'll be honest. That's the reason I'm pushing your asses right now about what we're doing for Daytona, because I'm hoping he wins the first race of the season, because this shit's going to get expensive if we have to travel to every single track until he wins the first one. I don't need that Kyle Busch shit going on.
I don't know what happened. We just got 28 viewers on, so
holy shit! Just keep saying Jeb's name. If we say it 3 more times or 2 more times, maybe he'll show up on the show.
Yeah, no shit.
Just all of a sudden, boop, Jeb comes on, But.
So one of the guys that I kind of got into on Facebook the other day, because I'm be honest, man, I'm a Jeb fan. I'm a fanboy, right? I mean, and when somebody talks shit about him, I go
that's how I feel about K-pop. We'll get to that.
That K-pop. Oh yeah, we're going to get.
God, no. We actually have people listening to this shit. Please don't start talking about Dynamite. Good Lord.
So this guy, he's like, he deserved a ride. He underperformed in the JRM car, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
I was like, he literally has like a 13th average, including one DNF at Bristol because of a mechanical failure.
Yep.
Running, I think it was 28th or 29th in Indy because of a mechanical
failure.
The 32nd in Kentucky because of the Dust Bowl, which none of those were his fault. None of those, and then including Daytona when he finished 28th after running
where he ran up front the whole freaking race.
You take those
won the first stage of the year.
Yeah, you take those out. He's got literally like a 6th place finish average in that car. Not only is that what it is? Yeah, not only a 6th place finish in that car, but being there part fucking time.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, in a car, can JRM cars win races? Yeah, it's been proven. But I mean, look at what he did while he was in the car and not being there every week. I know if I only show up to my job once a week, I'd probably not be able to do it. And he was showing up when he had an opportunity to run, which what did we have on the schedule last year? 13 races, 11 races,
15 last year, 11 in 2020.
Yeah, so I mean, running 11 races on a 33-week season, that's once every 3 weeks. That's like being retired. I mean, he's not in the car enough, and now,
Randy, we're with you, man. He's going to win next year. There's no doubt. My mind will be in victory lane. And I'll say this: if I'm not at the race, I guarantee you I will be at the airport when his ass lands. Fucking Concord.
But y'all gonna have to let me know on that, because I'm gonna have to private charter a jet to get the hell out there by the time that happens. So, Jeb, if we're not there and you listen to this, throw yourself a little party so that you get home a little late, because I got to fly somewhere to meet. But no, I mean, I think, honestly, I think it's going to happen early in the year. Look, Jeb proved in a JRM car without a doubt, Talladega and Daytona, that the kid can drive the shit out of a restrictor plate car. And Kaulig has proved through Justin Haley multiple times.
And Chastain. Chastain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but Haley, how many restrictor plates did Haley win this year? Didn't he win 3 of the 4?
Jeff says, "It, boys."
Yeah, that's exactly right. We'll be there. No, but I mean, so when you put the combination of what Jeb was doing in a JRM car and restrictor plate racing and put it with what colleagues' cars are doing right now, I think he wins Daytona. I mean, I'm not going to throw this as a curse. And Divers is robot.
So, yeah.
He is absolutely – Divers got to be losing his mind right now.
He's froze up again.
Yeah, and his phone's cutting in and out.
Was that the problem today? You didn't make that phone call? You were trying to get your internet service figured out, or what was that? You about to get kicked.
So you're going to have to boot him. Put him in the back room until he gets his shit figured out. He has been waiting. So here's the best part, y'all. Oh my gosh. So if you guys were in the conversations that we have on a regular basis, Divers was so excited for tonight's podcast because he knew this was going to be all about Jeb. We were going to talk about it. I bet that some bitch has pages, notebooks of notes that he wants to bring up while we're going through all this stuff with Jeb and all of this. And now he can't do it because his internet sucks. And I know that's a shitty thing, but it makes me feel good. So, and it comes back to how he screwed us in Atlanta this year.
Oh yeah. There's absolutely no doubt.
I mean, that's just that. So Divers. This is punishment. Here we are talking about, the thing that's more important to him than that BTS Korean pop band or whatever the hell y'all talk about. We're talking about Jeb, and he isn't here to do it, and it just makes things even more fun. But
it does.
No, so I mean, I absolutely think, and that's what we've been talking about, and I really, like you said earlier, I don't care if we spend the whole show talking about Jeb because this is huge for how long we've all waited. I mean, and you can think back to when you first met Jeb, and I laugh about our story. I mean, he called our office, he had called one of the companies that I was representing, and they sent him to us to go through everything, and that's where I started talking with Jeb, and I got off the phone. I remember saying to Amanda, I'm like, hey, she's like, what? And I was like, that was Jeb Burton. And she's like, Ward's son? And I was like, yeah. And, we kind of laughed about it and thought about it. And she's like, well, what the hell did he call for? I'm like, sponsorship stuff. We were talking about it. And that's really what helped draw me to Jeb and to do the things that I do with and for Jeb was, I mean, this guy was at home every opportunity to have calling sponsors. It didn't matter whether you were bringing $1,000 or $200,000 or anything. He was going to get you everything he could because he knew that's what would get him to this level. So when them little cockbites come out and start making comments about, this or that, they don't understand it. And because I was that way, I didn't understand how any of this worked before until, Jeb's who opened my eyes to it. And, now we're doing Wolfpack Racing. I mean, that's how far this has come. So, all right, Divers, I know you're dying for it, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say, but I was going to still does, though. I mean, look.
You good?
Am I back? What happened? Am I good?
He moved us around. He just moved us.
Still does, though. I mean, even though, and look, Brandy did blow him up on Twitter, and he deserved it about having his own stand-up in his house. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I'm going to go get my own.
Say what you want. I was going to say, we've already.
I love the uniform that he chose for the stand-up.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, is he frozen? Oh,
it was.
I thought he was frozen with that dumbass smile. It was going to be amazing. We need that screenshot ready. I'm going to get my shit ready to go.
Grab it. I can grab that later. No worries.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what else I was going to say there, but at the end of the day, I think it's it's we've he hasn't changed. It's continued throughout the process. Trying to figure out what's going to be the best situation for all of his partners, and I think that'll continue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hell, I was talking to him today, and he's
am I still here? Why are you laughing?
You're here because
he's so broken up and all. Oh my God.
Man, get your shit fixed.
Yeah, put him in the back. He gone. Oh my gosh. It's so handy.
He was making a point of, even though he's got this deal, he's still not relaxed. It's not like he's not sitting there like, all right, I got my deal. No, he's still working hard and oh, here we say we did.
What did he say?
We got a message from Jed. He said the stand up is for me to make sure Brandy is working.
Oh yeah, he's got cameras set up in that. I can tell you. Listen, if I was married to Brandy, I'd have a big ass picture of me in the house too. Just be like, hey, every time you walk by, I want to make sure you're seeing my face in there a little bit too. You know, right? So he's got that all set up. So we'll have to let Brandy know that it's actually some spy device.
No doubt.
It's just unbelievable. But oh yeah, it's just. Yeah, it couldn't happen for a better guy. And I mean, think of this year with the COVID stuff and all of that. And, you know, we were at several racetracks and things like that. And, you know, yeah, Brandy was hanging out and stuff, but we were there as Jeb's sponsor. And, you know, he came by at every single one, whether it was before the race, after the race, whatever, just, you know, had an opportunity at least to say hi. You know, you can't be too close with all the social things and stuff like that, but it's just, that's Jeb. And for every fan that knows him, every fan that's met him, he's a guy that's going to take time. And I honestly think that, you know, for Nutrien and Colleague, that's a huge opportunity. You know, I don't know Justin Haley at all. You know, I don't really know anything with those guys, but I think it's just going to be huge for their organization because Jeb has a very loyal following. He cares a lot about his people, his sponsors, his team. I mean, that's the thing with him. You're not going to hear him, you know, he might be pissed off about how a car's set up or this is wrong or that's wrong. But Jeb is a guy who's going to win as a team or lose as a team. He knows it's not just going to be him doing it. And that's cool. I mean, to me, that's cool because, you know, I know dirt track drivers that, you know, some bitch, they're the best in the world. And it takes everything for them not to win. But they you know, when something goes wrong, it's someone else's fault. And Jeb's not that way. And I think he's going to do very, very well. Really well.
No doubt in my mind. I mean, he just needs the equipment, you know, and he's got it. And like, you know, I did hear a couple of the interviews in the press conference he did and all, and, you know, talking about being there and starting to learn the communication between the driver and you know, him and the crew chief, getting that communication. Like, you know, because we all know, like when he said, you know, if he says something, it might mean totally different than when Ross did.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly right.
There, you know, and build those books of what Jeb needs. Everybody drives a car different, so it's got to be tuned to that specific driver and those type of things. So it's just going to be so, you know, for Jeb to be able to do what he did in the JRM car, not only because, you know, Taylor did a great job with JRM too. Because I mean,
working with two drivers is tough.
Yeah, I mean, hell, the first year it was how many?
Did they have 8 different people run that car that year? I thought.
Remember, I mean, I came into it on the tail end of it, so I missed out.
Well, they had Jeb, Zane, Junior drove it.
Junior.
There was a bunch.
I mean, so it was a lot of them that, you know, so Taylor did a great job of you know, working with those guys too. But for Jeb to be able to get into a car and him and the crew chief to start meshing and get some stuff under their belt and to be able to build that playbook, like you said, that notes to going back to tracks and stuff. It's going to be, I mean, I just, you know, we've got high hopes and expectations for him, and he's going to pull through. There ain't no doubt about that.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt. Welcome back, Divers.
How you doing,
I'm
buddy?
Back. Yeah,
he's on his computer now.
We all have. No, I'm back on the phone. We all have bad days, but I think I've got it figured out. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
but yeah, I mean, it's going to be a cool opportunity. I think having a full-time crew chief. I think it's going to be some unbelievable opportunity for Jeb and Freddie Kraft, right? Freddie Kraft is spotting. I mean, shit, that's awesome.
Freddie spotting?
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't see that?
No.
I mean, it's been announced.
Is that an announcement?
Brett had it on his
page.
Like
they were talking shit, you know, because like on DBC the other day, they were talking about how, you know, Freddie got the offer to spot full-time at college. And he was like, yeah, they asked me to spot, and I don't even know who the damn driver is yet. And
but that was before the announcement.
That was before the announcement.
Yeah.
Which, so Brett put on Twitter or something as a reference, nothing. It's like, yeah, and he knew who the driver was. He was just, you know, whatever. But
yeah, he was.
So that's going to be exciting too. I like Freddie, man. Freddie seems like a cool dude. I've listened to him some on with Bubba, you know, calling some races, and he's a good dude. I think he'll do good with Jeb too, because they have a lot of same, like, I say this just knowing from, you know, DBC and stuff, but like they seem like they have a lot of the same kind of personality and stuff like that. So I think it's going to work out good. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, just the whole team all together for an entire year. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
What, Divers, are you burning up?
No, I'm good.
Thought you were
Gotta jump into this, man. You're here, and now you got no love.
No, I'm good. No, I'm just listening to you guys. And truthfully, I'm just happy to be here at the moment.
If he talks his internet,
and don't get me wrong, I am looking so forward to Jeb winning. But I think what I'm looking forward to most is seeing Ward Burton in victory lane celebrating Jeb winning. That's going to be amazing.
Ooh.
Just
yeah, that's going to be. I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to the most is the three of us celebrating with Jeb for that first win.
I don't look forward the next day.
I'm fine with it. This is all about a Liquid IV plug. I will drink a case of that shit.
Next day.
Yeah.
We really got to get to work on that. We got to work on that endorsement there. I think that'd be a great endorsement for Should Have Gone to Bed and Jeb Burton.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We could do a Should Have Gone to Bed in a Liquid IV co-sponsored car next year, which would be pretty awesome to have out there. But I mean, it's just, we need to check in with those guys too to see, because if you mix vodka in with the Liquid IV and water, are you still doing 5 times of water intake? Do they cancel
each other out?
But that'd be perfect. You just stay normal then.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, what's the point of drinking if you just stay normal?
Oh no, you'd still get drunk. You just wouldn't be hungover. I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna find out. I'll test this before Daytona.
Ask Amanda. She'll give us an honest
She's probably already Googling it right now. You know, she's either texting with Ward or Googling Liquid IV mixed with vodka for my dumbass husband.
That's a hard no, Andy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard no.
Yeah.
No, but I think, I mean, what an opportunity for, you know, Ward obviously being most known for winning the Daytona 500 and now with Snakes, which is two really ironic things. But if Jeb could go and pull that off, which, I mean, I was in a bar in Nashville watching while he ran that race, you know, at Daytona. And, you know, quite frankly, 7 laps to go. And, you know, we had an incident, you know, starting out with Noah, you know, about getting out front. I mean, it was a miscommunication. But once again, it's a miscommunication. But, I mean, Jeb could have won that race. And I honestly believe coming into this year, I think it'll be Justin Haley and Jeb will be the freaking front runners expected to win Daytona this year.
Well, let's talk about Talladega. Who got past Jeb to win Talladega?
Haley did.
Haley. And who was behind him?
Chastain.
And who was behind him?
Justin Allgaier.
AJ Allmendinger.
Oh, AJ. That's right. Justin got wrecked in that.
Who do all those guys drive for?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Colleague? Yeah.
Colleague racing. Colleague.
Yeah, which is what we've all said. We can all spell.
All right. Just want to make sure we've all got it down.
I'll tell you something, man. I'll tell you something too. Like before the whole Colleague deal, I mean, I followed those guys and knew what was going on, but didn't really pay. You know, it wasn't like they weren't on my radar every day. But of course now, and started following more Chris Rice. Chris Rice is he's just a great dude too. I mean, just following his Twitter and seeing what he does, and like we talked about it. After we found out that Jeb was going to Colleague, is damn, you listen to the race, and they talk about Chris Rice because of the amazing crap that he has done with that team.
Yeah, they talked about him more than they did the drivers.
And real quick, you know why you should take what Ray's saying to the bank? You know why? Because he was the 2015 Brewmaster of the year.
And not everybody gets that trophy. Not Chris Rice. Chris Rice wasn't. Ray Page was.
Chris Rice don't have that trophy. He might have a damn, Xfinity trophy, but he ain't got no Brewmaster trophy.
He might be winning Xfinity trophies pretty well right now, but he ain't got no Brewmaster check for $100. I'll tell you that much.
Ray was trophy hunting way out ahead of everybody else.
He was well in advance of that stuff. No, it's this is going to be an exciting year. I mean, now what we need to do is get rid of all this COVID shit. Let's get Trump back into office. And then let's go racing, y'all. Like, that's it. That's what we need. That's what America needs, right? Like, maybe a stack of Bibles.
Loaded statement. Load it up.
Yeah.
Load it up. That's a loaded baked potato you just served up.
Oh, it's saying.
Yeah.
That's what we need. I mean, that's what we need. And it's, that's what we've been talking about so much with the three of us is, they're going to have fans at Daytona. Are they, they're claiming they're going to have infield at Daytona, but what about other tracks? What about, where are we going to go? And it's tough to plan a season like that, whether you're as a sponsor, as a fan, or as a driver. I mean, I guess drivers are going to be there one way or another, but that's a big part of what we do with the sponsorship side is the interactions that take place at a track. And this is going to be a tough year again, I think.
Well, like I was getting ready to say, I mean, we us as sponsors and working with sponsors, I mean, how do we go and how do we plan? I mean, like we were talking yesterday about Daytona. Daytona is literally 2.5 months away, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Roughly 2.5 months, if that away. It's time to have stuff planned and go, but who knows what it's going to be? Is it going to be like it was, this past year where it's very limited and people going down? I know Florida's a little bit more open. Some other states are. But, I don't know, man. I've been reading a lot of articles, doing my own research on stuff, and not just, of course, taking what the TV says and what you see on Facebook. There's a major problem. People read these damn little clips on Facebook, and it's like gospel instead of doing the research themselves. But I read an article today about a guy that was like one of the chief scientists from Pfizer, who was saying that we're not having a second wave. It's just that we're having false positive tests and all this kind of stuff that's making it look that way. And
they're doing more testing. Is what it boils down to. I mean, if you do more testing, you're going to have more.
And the rate has kept going up and up and up. So it's like,
how are they? What are they testing out on East Coast? Like, are you guys all? Because like in Iowa, one of the things they're doing now is if you call in and are ill or anything, they were wide testing everybody in the beginning of how many people were tested. But now we're talking across our state, at least, all they're talking about is the percentage of positive. And that's what they're going through. And here's the reality: in Iowa, they're not having anybody be tested unless they're showing symptoms. So there's still a lot of people that are going to be tested because why? It's flu season. The symptoms are the freaking same. So they're testing all these people, and you're much more likely to test positive with it right now.
So I had a doctor's appointment today, and I've got to go in for just an outpatient procedure.
How long did it take you to be seen when you got to the doctor, right?
Talk about it. I'm very impatient when it comes to that shit. Here's my philosophy on it, right? You schedule me for 11:15. My ass needs to be in the room at 11:15.
Yeah.
Right now, because here's
you don't
my
go
thing.
To the doctor a lot, do you?
No.
Like,
I was gonna say I don't either.
Like, I'm sitting in that room. Like, first of all, like on the signs, it's like, come check in. We're going to get your cell phone number. Go sit in your car, and we'll call you. So I go up and I check in. She's like, yeah, you can have a seat right over there. And I'm like, she's like, no, you can just sit over there. So the room full of fucking people. Right, which doesn't bother me at all. I'm okay with it. But like, I'm sitting there. It took me an hour before they actually called me back to the room. And then, of course, you got to do all the shit with the nurse and this, that, the other. And then the doctor finally comes in. I got there at 11 and left at like 1:20 or something. So it was not my best day at all. But so she's going over this whole thing about, okay, yeah, you need to, do these, like, go get these labs done, and then you need to come and this, that, the other, and you got to have a COVID test 3 days before. And I was like, cool, is that the ones that already pre-made to test positive? And she gave me a look like it wasn't funny when I said it.
So did you have to do a COVID test?
No, I have to do one 3 days before my procedure.
Ooh.
So
have you been tested, Brandon, ever?
No.
Okay.
No,
yeah, they ain't sticking a damn Q-tip up my face.
No,
always been tested like 3 times.
So
times.
True story. My wife birthed a child in late July, and he's mine, by the way.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're proud. Very proud of that. And
he probably actually had it tested.
You never know. I mean, we don't have a pool, but
they always say, you know who your mama is. Your daddy's always in question.
That's right.
Oh my God!
That's a North Carolina thing.
They say in North Carolina.
Yeah. That's a North Carolina thing.
At least that's what they say in Ray's family.
If you're Paige, that's what you say. So we got in there, and of course, our first kid was great. Like we induced because it was the first one, so I knew how to plan and how to schedule and all that. The second one, we were like, all right, we'll let it roll. Well, of course, she wakes up at like 1:30 in the morning with contractions that she thought that she was having, which ended up being the case. So we go to the hospital and, we get there at like 3. They do all the testing. They're like, okay, we're going to admit you, but you need to have a COVID test. And so she says it to Jen, and I'm like, that's not for me because I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And they never asked me.
She gonna be pissed when I go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shove that up my nose. So they shove it up her nose. She literally said it felt like they shoved it in the back of her brain.
Yeah.
And
so here's my question on that too. If you got to go that fucking far back to test me, what?
Then then how am I killing people when I'm only 5 1/4 feet away from them?
That's like testing for zombies or something.
Yeah.
Like, so
they probably went a little deeper on her trying to figure out how the hell she was with you making babies. They're like, we gotta end this one, folks.
There's more wrong with this girl than COVID.
Yeah. Can we get a big specimen?
They
got a lot to do.
They were checking to see if there was anything in there.
That's right. So I was in the bathroom or wasting time or whatever I was doing when the results came back, and it was inconclusive, which according to the hospital was like never happens. And so they're like, we got to do it again. Sucks for you.
Did they try the other nostril? Like, that's the thing. Do they go to a new testing site?
Yeah, they just stick it up there again. And I was like, oh, Lugs, it's not me.
Could you guys give her the epidural first, please?
I was like, she is going to be pissed when we get in the room. So they do it again, right? And she's negative. And which she didn't have a temperature. I didn't have a temperature. Not shocking. But understand that people walk around with no symptoms. So I will be mindful of that. But anyway, so we get in there and they put us in the room and I'm like, hey, can I take my mask off? They're like, no. What do you mean no? And they're like, well, no, you didn't have a test. And they go, she could take hers off. She had a test and she's negative, but you got to keep yours on. I was like, how does that make any sense at all? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what?
Me, I'm the guy who made the baby.
Like,
she's gonna get
we live together.
Yeah. Exactly right.
I'm just. Can we use a little common sense here?
Well, and like I always say,
there's not using any common sense. I can't go to a small business, but I can go to Walmart.
Yeah.
Right. I go to a restaurant. I have to wear my mask into the restaurant until I sit down. Then I can take it off. I go to a grocery store and they're not bagging. They don't want to bag my groceries because they don't want to have any cross contamination. But there's a fucking stock kid that's stocking this shit up on the. It makes no sense.
And he's wearing his mask around his chin and he's wiped his nose 3 times in the last 15 minutes.
It's like right here.
Yeah,
it's like right here.
Yeah.
I see the meme of the outdoor tent outside of the restaurant. You can't eat inside unless the inside is on the outside. Nah, you got it. Yeah,
so if you come out and you all sit in an enclosed tent, it's okay.
COVID doesn't come out till 10 o'clock at night.
That's another good one. And it also didn't hit until the election results came in.
It's very prevalent at 6 feet, but when you get down below 4 feet, you're sitting, gone. It's
gone. Well, see, in Iowa, it's if you have food at your table or not. Like, if you have food at your table, you have 0 fucking chance of getting COVID. But if you just sit down and are having a beer, you're likely to die.
And just being honest and candid, if it were consistent, if it made sense, if it was just like, yeah, okay, like I get that and I get that and I get that, yeah, okay. But it's just like we're so ding about this thing that it's just like
more reactive.
What? And that's the issue that I think a lot of people have is it's just it's a problem when it's convenient. And
it was scary at first. I think there was a lot of people that had a lot of fear, and there's a lot of people that want to, we just went under a mask mandate, I think, or something like that in Iowa here. But again, it's a lot of people that were terrified in the beginning that have kind of gotten over their fear of this, and the media blew this thing up towards the scariest thing in the world. And then people actually started doing some research, getting stuff coming out to them, and they started going, some of this shit's not adding up. And then here we sit, the 2.5 weeks around the election, even the mass media had stopped talking about COVID. And then as soon as all this lawsuit stuff and all this other bullshit's come out, now COVID is spiking again. But I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, what do you do with parents who, are both working parents whose kids are now going to be home? I mean, like, that's my thing behind this is the care that I have and that other people have and that I believe Trump had, for the American people. What in the hell do they expect families to do who have both working parents? I mean, most families in the United States today have 2 working parents, and I don't want to say that school is daycare. It's where they go to be educated. It's all of that stuff. What do you do when a spouse has to stay home? Or, like everybody else, kind of, like I said, if Amanda's she's either got to work from home and watch the kids, or we have to hire a daycare, and people will just hire a daycare person. That's another employee. I mean, like, to the common normal people, anybody's budget, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And who thinks these freaking kids aren't still going to do stuff together and stuff like that? Parents are over this.
Look, we had what was it, a year ago? We had kids eating fucking Tide Pods, and these were kids that had gone to school and would learn shit.
Were they listened to they weren't listed to BTS though.
They weren't listening to BTS.
Shit. Most of them couldn't tell you 5 presidents' names.
You got all these kids being homeschooled by parents.
Yeah, no shit.
Look, my nephew, man, I love that kid to death, but that kid needs some structure. He bounces off the walls. I mean, and smart, like just a smart, good kid. But he needs to be in a classroom. Like my mom, my sister and my brother-in-law work, and my mom's trying to help as much as she can. Like, she's got to sit with him. I mean, like, she's literally like sitting there with a little paddle underneath the desk, so he'll put her ass in the chair. You know what I mean? I mean, and she's like,
I need one of those for divers.
I mean, he's in kindergarten. The fucking foundation of what
Just
all
needs one of these.
Yeah.
That's how you keep them kids there. Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I could be a teacher. Sit down.
Yeah.
You don't have to hit Johnny's ass once before that noise. Like, that noise right there lets everybody know he ain't playing around no more.
How many other kids
are
like
beep
that?
On a shot collar.
How many other kids are like that? They're not getting that structure.
Yeah.
Like,
for real.
My kids are homeschooled, and it took us a while to get that structure where this is what you do, bam, bam, bam. I mean, and for parents that have never done that before, and it's hard, man. I mean, and like you said, to your point, Andy, not only, like, I'm working from home, and some days, like, my girls are homeschooled. My girls are 8. Elizabeth, she's graduated, but Mackenzie's 15. Caitlin's 12.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So but I mean, my kids are pretty self-sufficient and stuff. Caitlin sometimes needs additional help more than Mackenzie does. But, like, I'm sitting there trying to work, and they're in there just talking, just like talking, and I'm about to go fucking crazy because I can't concentrate on what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've got to get, man. I mean, man, like Amanda said, our kids need extra care because, I've got 2 special need kids. I know, Andy, you got 1 special need kid.
Yep.
I mean, those kids like my nephew, he's getting left behind. But what about the kids like special ed kids that need that structure, need the social aspect of it, things like that.
Bo, for instance, he can't turn on an iPad. I mean, he's not going to just sit down and turn on an iPad. He's not going to go to Zoom. I mean, Bo's time with his iPad at home that's his playtime. He gets to go on there. He can, there's his sister can get YouTube set up and things like that. And he'll sit there and he'll watch. He knows, can he function from video to video? Absolutely. But he can't go to YouTube by himself, really. He can a little, but it's taken a long time to learn that. And his attention span when watching videos of dump trucks and skid steers and all of those things is about 6-7 minutes. If you think he's going to sit there and listen to a teacher, I mean, let's be honest. I'm freaking 40 years old. I can't concentrate through a Zoom call that I'm running with a fucking client.
You have about a 7-minute attention.
I was going to say, we're lucky he's still on right now.
Exactly. I've already left. I've actually got my notepad down. I've written 3 quotes and built a website.
Randy, that's what this whole podcast is about, man. It's just 3 guys sitting around talking about shit, and we don't care what nobody says, thinks.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. We're pretty open about that.
Hey, and join in the conversation. We love having you guys join in the conversation.
What is it that Jeb always says about the racetrack? I'll meet my friends on the other side of the wall. Yeah. You know, that's kind of the way we feel about this shit. It's like, hey, we're here to have fun. Really, this is just a phone call for the 3 of us, an opportunity. I mean, our wives still think we're doing a podcast. I mean, at some point they're going to figure out we just needed an hour and a half to be like,
hey, you can see I'm doing the podcast in my bedroom. My wife takes her pillow and she's laid on the couch probably right now.
And by the way, we usually just make sure we're having fun, whether it's having a few cocktails or whatever the case. But
that's right.
No, I mean I don't know where we were at, but we're talking about the kids. Yeah, we were talking about Bo and stuff like that. But it's we were talking about my attention span. Very good, Divers. Yeah, finally you get 1 point. That's it.
Ding, ding, ding,
number 8, and he finally landed a funny.
I'll take what I get, man.
Exactly right. But yeah, and I mean, we've got a call about that tomorrow, but it is tough when you have a child with special needs and you see all of this stuff, and it gets frustrating to think of how all these communities do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. And, special need kids don't always get the same things. And a lot of times they're kids that need the help. I mean, we're fortunate in what we do and where we're at and what we can provide for Bo. But that's not the cases for everybody. And these kids are going to go through a difficult time. I mean,
Amanda, just for instance, and I hope that, she put it on Facebook, so I don't mind talking about it. I hope she doesn't mind. But, with the situation you have with Bo right now, with her working, Bo, like you said, Bo needs somebody there with him the whole time. And, we already, as special needs parents, have to be that fighting advocate anyway.
All the time.
If you're not fighting for them and you're not advocating for them and trying to get the IEPs in place and the special programs in place and stuff like that, they're not going to do it.
No.
That's the reason because our kids, we tried so hard for so long trying to get that extra help and couldn't get it, and that's why we pulled our kids out. So now, not only are we having to fight for the advocation when they're in school, what the hell do we do now?
The answer most of the time is, figure it out. And that's not the answer. That shouldn't be the answer. It's not okay.
Well, and it's just, and it's a difficult situation. And look, I get it. There are kids that can function that way and stuff like that. I understand why they're doing this. But at some point, can we stop saying this is about the safety of America and this and that? Look, because if that's the case, what the fuck have we been doing with influenza and all of this stuff, like pneumonia and shit? Like, that's my whole deal behind this is, how come Iowa just went to a mask mandate, right? That's the smart thing to do. Let me break this down. I might not be the most intelligent person, but I'm sure as hell not a politician. But I am a smart enough guy to look at the entire East Coast that's been under a mask mandate since friggin' March of last year. And their sons of bitchin' rates are way higher than Iowa and South Dakota. Dude, they already required to wear a mask.
If the fucking lockdown worked, why are we doing it? Why are they talking about it again? If it didn't work, why are we talking about doing it again?
Yeah, exactly right.
The University of Alabama, Kappa Delta, at the University of Alabama this past week, filed I forget what it's called, but with the city, they wanted to have a 600-person party out in a field out in Tuscaloosa. And their pitch was, we're going to do 200 people at a time, and they're going to party for an hour and 45 minutes. First of all, when have you ever gone to a party and said, going to party for an hour and 45 minutes, I'm just going to wrap it up? I don't know about you.
My wife doesn't drink, so I've never wanted to physically do it, but I've been told we're at the hour and 45-minute mark and we're leaving. So so
okay,
if you have Amanda with you, you'd be good to go.
Okay, that's different. So, but they said, and we're going to do it 200 people at a time. All right. So they're going to bus in 200, bus out 200, bus in 200, bus out 200. The Tuscaloosa City Council voted this okay by a majority of 3-2. All right. So this makes national news. It hits whatever it was, CNN or whatever. Today they called it off. Not happening. But I mean,
but here's where they went wrong, because the reality is that if they would have said that was a protest, they'd have been fine.
Nah, because Speedway tried that. They
tell me I'm wrong.
So
I saw
Speedway tried it this year, and because they were selling. They were selling tickets. But
they got busted.
But they had a sign on the thing that said donation of a certain amount.
They were selling tickets.
They were selling tickets. They were trying to get around it. But
I mean, that's what it comes down to. But it's the same thing. Like, we're going to have a company Christmas party. We can't have more than 15 people in a place. Well, we're going to have ourselves a fucking protest. About
North
my employees don't know
if 15 about not getting a your area that you can have one with.
I was thinking about flying you guys in.
Okay.
But you just got uninvited. So now I'm just going to fly right in. I'll grab that jet I was talking to Jeb about. But no,
way, man. I'm a proponent. Like, I'm a freedom guy, right? What's the saying, Divers?
Freedom, tires, and freedom. We added one to it though. Tires, guns, and freedom.
There you go.
Right. So here's my thing. Like, my aunt, like me and Molly are having a discussion right now because my aunt's having Thanksgiving. We go over there every year. She's got CPOD. Right? If she gets COVID, it's going to be really bad. I mean, I know COVID's a real deal. I'm not saying COVID's not there. I'm not saying that it's this made up hoax. COVID's real. And if she were to get COVID, it's going to be bad for her. So we're having this discussion. She's like, ain't nobody telling me I ain't having Thanksgiving and I ain't having Christmas. And I get it, right? Hey, freedom. Do what you want to.
Can you do that again? Can you do her impression again?
Because I'm the one that edits this thing, so I can say what I want to. It'll never make it.
Damn it, I should have been the producer.
Having the discussion, is it smart for us to go over there? Because not only is, my family would be over there, but, her son's daughters, their, spouses, some of their spouses' family come over. I don't know that I want to go get into a house and be packed in with 20, 30 people, right? I mean, hell, most of the time one of the kids comes home with a stomach bug. My family's big, right? So we have Thanksgiving, it's 30 to 40 people. We have Christmas, it's 30 to 40 people. So we're having those discussions. I mean, her son, I talked to him today, his wife's family, their mom and dad, both her mom and dad are going through some cancer treatments right now. So they're deciding not to go because if they have to go to the hospital or something goes on, they don't want to go over there and have something. I get it. I think as Americans and as people, generally, for the most part, we have fucking common sense, right? I mean, I'm not.
I don't know. They're claiming there was 74 million people that voted for Biden.
But that's politicians again. I mean,
you said most of us have common sense.
Most of us have common sense. Most of us, like, all this bullshit with even the racial, social stuff we had this year, like. My friends that my black and brown friends, like, we talk and it's like, we don't see this shit. Like, Ray's cool, Reggie's cool. You know what I mean? So all this shit to me is blowed up by the media and politicians because whatever, it's like I posted on Facebook today. You know how illusions work, right? I'm doing some crazy shit with this hand so you don't see what this one's doing.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that's where we're at right now. And I truly believe that's where we've been at this whole time. I think they're blowing all this shit up because there's something going on they don't want us to see. I always say it like, when you hear this little inkling of news coming along, all of a sudden, you have this, oh, God, this happens, know? And I'm not a big conspiracy theorist that I think, that the deep state's out there, like, whatever, and this, that, the other. But some shit's got to give. We have to live our life. I'm not living in fear, right? But I'm gonna be smart. Like, I'm having that discussion about going to my aunt's, not because I'm worried about Ray. I'm worried about my aunt. You know what I mean? So those are like, when it first came out, I didn't go over to my mom's house a while. I mean, she's 60 some years old. She's got some. She's had liver cancer, which we're good. Everything's fine, but. She's susceptible more to the downfall of it than I am. I mean, hell, I've got some issues. I've got, I don't even think I've got some heart issue stuff that it's possible for me, but I feel like I'm healthy enough to fight it off, right? So I'm not worried about Ray now. I'm worried about my family, but I'm the one that needs to make that decision. not fucking Governor Cooper, who's up there marching, in these protests with his mask hanging off his fucking ear. And then he comes out the next day saying that we don't need to have more than 10 people in our fucking house. Well, you just marched with 6,000 people. What the fuck are you doing? Right? I don't get it.
Can you rewind that? Have you tell us how you feel about it?
Don't worry.
Ray's warming up the edit button right now. He's like, fuck, how do I change this live one?
Y'all gonna love this. My mom watches this shit live almost every week.
Yep.
Right? I go to her house the other week and we're sitting
Mom.
there. Yeah, hey mama.
Hey, Mom.
She's probably gonna get up here. Well, yeah, he don't come and see me enough and don't call me enough. You know how it goes. But so I'm sitting there.
Some soap in that mouth is what it needs.
Yeah.
We're sitting
He already got yelled at earlier. Molly already yelled at him.
So my mom's house the other day, and my sister and we're talking, and Elizabeth brought up the conversation about the podcast. And my mom goes, "Oh yeah, I know about the podcast," and I'm like, "Cool." And then watching, she's like, "Yeah."
Did you talk to Jen or your mom?
Yeah. She goes, "I've been listening, and you watch your language. You know better. You know." She just give me. I did feel a little guilty. I was like,
It's where you do that little 8-year-old thing, and you're like, but mom, it's my fucking podcast.
I'm just passionate about what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
so Mom, what about Andy and Brandon?
She's like, I don't know their mama.
Wait, don't drag us into this.
Oh,
right?
you know when you grow up and you got in trouble, first thing you did was start pointing fingers.
Oh yeah.
Like y'all, my cousin Eric, right?
Well, if
So
Andy
y'all-
and Brandon jumped
Oh,
off
yeah.
the bridge, would you do it too?
The greatest story, and I'm surprised he didn't tell y'all boys this when we were in Bristol. So my cousin Eric, he's 4 years older than I am. We used to fight. His mom and dad separated. They moved in with us. He's more like a brother to me. So we're at the house one day and we just fight like hell, right? We always fight and this, that, the other. He's bigger than me, and my mama was always like, "Quit beating on him, Eric," that type of shit. Fussing, and Eric's just fussing, and you can hear my mom from the other room. She's like, "Eric, if you hit him, I'm gonna whoop your ass." It's just like looking at me, he just wants to just nail me right in the face. And I look at him, I literally go, "Here comes my mama." Well, he knew at that point he was catching the ass. He's like, "If I'm gonna get an ass whoop, you're gonna get one too." Great.
Yeah, those backfiring plans just don't always work out.
That's
He still
great.
got his ass whooped, so it worked out a little bit, but no, man. I mean, it's like with the whole thing. Like, I mean, the North Carolina has actually said that you cannot have more than 10 people in your house for holidays.
Yeah, Iowa announced it just Monday night. Our governor came on and went to a mask mandate. You can't. I think we can have 10 people in a family function or something like that. And I'm like, man, it's getting to the point. And I remember, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I remember back when they shut down smoking in public, like at restaurants and bars. You always had smoking sections. But I mean, I remember when they set that down to where, you couldn't smoke in the bowling alley anymore. I mean, quite frankly, I used to bowl a lot. I quit bowling when you couldn't smoke anymore. Like, well, what are you going to do while you're bowling? Like,
And you want to talk about
you don't need
What
to
got you
exercise for this
away
sport.
from the game.
Bowling?
Well,
Yeah.
quite frankly, I just couldn't
Yeah.
smoke anymore, and that's so I couldn't.
So here's
roll.
Yeah.
here's
But,
another,
I mean,
here's another example of government at work, right? When Colorado legalized marijuana, Harley Davidson we had a show. I worked at Harley Davidson time. We had a show in there. So we're out at this really nice restaurant with my owner of the dealership and everybody, and we're having a good time. And
Where
people,
were you? In Colorado?
yeah, I was in Denver.
Where? Where'd you go?
I can't remember, dude. It's been fucking, I don't know where it was.
I
But
lived in Denver like 8 years ago.
Well, I didn't live there. I just visited.
Well,
So-
I was just asking where
Anyway,
you went.
we're at this restaurant with the outside, like,
Jesus,
this really
get all
nice
pissed
restaurant.
off.
dude, I
Don't
can't
have a
remember.
clue where it was.
I'm in the middle of telling my story. Leave me alone. So,
It
it's
was
got
actually
the
in
outdoor-
Oklahoma.
it's got the outside seating with like the fence around it, whatever. So we're sitting outside because my owner's wife smoked and she, whatever. And this was right after they started, you can't smoke in restaurants. They didn't have the smoking sections anymore. But it was legal to smoke marijuana. So you're walking down the street in Denver, and it's like, holy hell, where's that coming from? So we're sitting there, and people are sitting at the table smoking joints at the table. So my owner's wife takes a cigarette out, throws it in her mouth, lights it up, and you thought she had set the table on fire. Here comes like two waitresses, ma'am, you can't smoke that here. And she's like, I mean, there was literally like a guy smoking a joint there, a guy smoking a joint there, but she had a cigarette lit up. So they were like, she's like, well, where's the smoking section? Well, we don't have a smoking section, but as long as you're outside of this fence, and I mean, our table is literally the fence that separated, it's right there. So she walked and stood right beside us talking to us, smoking a cigarette. Again, government at work, right?
Yeah, and
it's no damn sense.
Like I said, everybody was all for smoking stopping, and now I don't smoke, and whatever. But I remember telling people all the time, I'm like, they required seatbelts. If you're not smart enough to wear a seatbelt, maybe that's God's way of making sure you don't reproduce. I mean, that's possible, But they take smoking away, all this stuff, and I remember talking to a couple friends who were like, I think it's a good thing, and I'm like, it is what it is. I smoke. So my opinion, obviously I wanted to keep it, but I said, what are you going to do when the government takes something away that you do or that you love? And I mean, we're seeing that every year. We're seeing more and more and more of that coming up. And COVID is them taking a lot of shit, only not doing it through law. They have another thing behind it. And I am a conspiracy person. Like when I've shown you guys before, you fold the $20 bill in half, you look at it, and it's Andrew Jackson has become a woman wearing a mask. I mean, fold the $20 bill in half, flip it upside down, and look at it. It's the year of 2020. It shows him wearing a mask. I know I've shown you guys before, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. You can't, either people are super creative in figuring this shit out, or there's something behind all this. Just my opinion. I'll be the crazy son of a bitch. I don't believe in aliens.
I'm really sure how to follow that up.
I'm all right with being the crazy conspiracy theorist. I ain't got no compound or no shit like that. Matter of fact, as I've been telling everybody I've been on a phone call with all week, I took every gun, every piece of ammunition, everything I had, my gun safes, everything. I took them out on my boat last week, and we hit a bad wave, and they all went. I can't tell you the name of the lake. I was drunk when I got there. But all my guns are in the bottom of a lake somewhere, as far as anybody needs to know.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Well, you got to remember, Divers lived in the communist country of North Virginia, so he's
yeah, that's exactly right.
North of Virginia. That's good. Dude, I tell you what, I'll give them a grant if they want to peel off and go up to North Virginia. I'm okay with that. We can call it that.
Can I get my $50 before you give up that grand?
Well, see what had happened.
Yeah.
What bet are we talking
about? You laid off so you can't pay your damn debt.
Like what exactly? What bet are we discussing?
Yeah, we'll get it to you. I'll call Western Union. We'll get you taken care of.
I'm just saying, you made a bet with old boy down in Texas, and hell, you got your money in no time.
Exactly.
I mean,
the guy that I hardly know messaged one of my companies on Facebook asking for my wife so he could get my address so he could pay up his end of the bet. And now I got a good friend, and this son of a bitch ain't paid me on a bet he's lost forever. At this point, I'm starting to wonder why I'm even making the bets. Because Ray, listen, we could backstage him. Just leave here. Which way is he?
Please
that
don't,
way. Just leave here.
Because I got good internet right now. Please don't.
Yeah, we don't have to backstage. I can just mute his mic.
I'm just saying that, if I lose a bet to him, can you imagine me getting outside of arm's length without him being like, "Where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money?"
Take the Alsco jet and fly to Iowa to get that.
Exactly right. People like, "Boss, I'm gonna take the jet. I gotta fly out to Waterloo, Iowa."
Look, the number one rule of management is surround yourself with better people than yourself, and that's what I do. I've got people around me that are just better than me, and I'm okay with that. I'm fine recognizing that.
The step to being better is to pay your debts.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, once I get to your book, I'll figure that out. Look, you want to Venmo? Would you like to Venmo you? Do they accept Venmo in Iowa? I don't know.
No, we don't have Venmo in Iowa.
Do you have PayPal?
Yeah, I think I have PayPal. Are you gonna really pay me?
Send you.
Son of a bitch, we should have started this a long time ago.
Send me your PayPal, and I will.
You better be
pay
careful
you.
in saying that because Amanda is probably watching and she handles all the finance stuff.
Amanda,
so you're going to actually get it.
Send me your PayPal, and I will send you $50.
Perfect. Amanda, on the
I'm
note,
not a
please
scout,
write.
so I can't do Scouts Honor, but
Amanda, please write for
I'll do
losing to Andy on the invoice so that
no,
as
can
he's
you just
paying
put,
it,
like,
he
a checkered
remembers.
flag emoji or something. Let it be.
What about the money that you paid the kid off for the losing?
I'll give it that. We're okay on that. It was worth it.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
We settled on that at Bristol because he lost whatever that was. I don't even remember.
I paid you at Bristol.
You did, but you lost twice, I think.
No, I paid you $100 bill at Bristol. I went to slam it down on the table, and you took the son of a bitch out of my hand before I could move it to the table.
How do you even remember that?
I stayed sober-ish.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say that.
I drank in series.
Okay. All right. We'll go with that.
That was the night I signed autographs for everybody.
Oh.
Sorry to the sheriff wearing a autograph hat with my name on it, who's like, man, I don't know who the guy is, but he's a NASCAR driver. Yep, I was that
Man,
night.
I tell you what, though, he was hauling ass out of there.
Yeah, we got out, though, didn't we?
He had an honor rod.
He must have finished and had to get himself on. But he
He
signed my
started
hat.
running us down for
Look at
that,
here.
too.
Huh?
Speaking of hats, I don't have a Crossroads with the Burton's hat.
Well, I bought this with my own money, just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I did. I promise. True story.
Did you pay for it, or are you offering to Venmo it?
Randy was cooking.
No, I said no. I'm not giving you the hat. I just said I would Venmo you the money. So if Amanda will send me a text with your Venmo information or
Amanda,
PayPal
could you do
information-
that right now live on the podcast?
Oh, that would be fantastic. I wonder if she's still watching.
Are you watching? She probably isn't.
We're just straight calling her out. She's probably putting the fucking chickens to bed.
Fucking chicken. Are you
Oh
gonna
my
be
God.
at
Hey,
Cluckingham
can you
Palace.
guys ask your wives, or well, Ray, can you ask your wife? You're over here. God, this is awkward. Can you ask your wife not to encourage my wife's chicken habit on social media?
when my wife like shares stuff and like, hey, Amanda, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
I
Just
know.
wait. I'm sending your ass another bird for your house for Christmas.
I don't give a shit. Don't bother. Don't matter. Look, I've lived in a house full of animals my whole life. I mean, there's no.
I don't mind animals, but when people start thinking about, and she has these ideas of putting freaking chickens in sweaters, I just start to get a little weirded out with that.
I'm sending you a whole bucket of chicken paraphernalia.
If you're gonna send a bucket of chicken, try to have it deep fried and extra crispy if you could. That's the way I'm looking at it. Every time I gotta go open it, and I don't much anymore. She's been taking care of it for a while. I'd open the chute, and you just open the chute, and them chickens come walking out, and you're like, man, that's 18 chicken sandwiches walking around right here, right now.
What
all I
I
can
don't know
think
is,
of.
like, when are you going to have the class for Bo and D on how to cut a chicken head off? Like, how you know,
We won't.
Why not?
Because we're not, these aren't meat chickens, they're laying chickens. Listen, I've learned all kinds of shit about this.
Oh, these are
my
for
grandma
eggs.
had chickens
Yeah.
that laid eggs, but
They're-
I guarantee she cooked them some bitches.
So
too.
those are
Oh,
two
yeah.
different things. You don't eat the chickens that lay the eggs.
you can.
You can, but they're like skinny. Man, I
Yeah,
want to
they're
kill
skinny.
myself right now just for the fact that we're talking about this.
It's your problem, not ours.
Yeah, no. I
just like talking about it because I know it bothers you.
Oh,
So.
Yeah,
it's
me
just so
too.
dumb. Like we got chickens and
How
now
many
we're
chickens
giving
do you
away
have, Andy?
eggs.
Andy, how many chickens
There's
do you have?
9. There's
You have
9.
9 chickens.
Yeah, there's 9 chickens.
But
We
see,
built
you-
a
How many eggs
$1,000.
on average?
She paid for it. She built a $1,000 damn chicken coop for these
That's
dumbass
a
things to
chicken
be
coop.
in and out.
It's called Cluckingham Palace.
Cluckingham Palace. Y'all can
Anyway,
find it on
just wondering.
Facebook and see why I'm killing myself here.
So, how many eggs would you say on average a week do your 9 chickens?
Now, I will say,
Well, the rooster
Lay.
doesn't lay eggs.
Okay.
So
All right,
there's 8 that are laying, and she probably gets, I would say, at least 6 a night. So now we're getting 42
all-
eggs a week.
they're the
We're
biggest
getting-
eggs I've ever seen. I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
got a fucking ostrich somewhere.
Yeah, we've got the
Can you
chickens are
send me
laying big
some?
eggs. I'm sure she would. Because
All
at
right,
this
Amanda, if you're
point,
listening, I
we
would love
spent
some
all
fresh
this
eggs.
money when she talked to me about this. Her original idea was, Bo loves eggs. So if We had chickens to lay eggs. We wouldn't have to buy eggs, and Bo would enjoy it, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so I did the math because that's what I do. I did the math. And I'm like, so essentially, it'll take 8 years of these chickens laying seven eggs a day. It's going to take 8 years to pay off what we would spend if we just bought a carton of eggs every week. Right? Like, so I'm doing these math things, and I'm kind of like, this doesn't make sense to me. And now here's the part I didn't factor into how long that would take is now we're giving all the eggs away. Because when you get 6 eggs a day, and you go through maybe a dozen and a half eggs a week, you're now putting out 42 eggs, which is, 3.5 dozen a week.
I just found something very interesting that we need to discuss because this could be a problem for you here in the future, Andy.
Is it going to be about how bright that screen is on your face?
It's fucking bright. I mean, it is
Holy
bright.
cow, you have the TikTok light on?
The TikTok light on, but it is bright. But
if a red dot goes across the screen,
but look at all the. I'm searching for Cluckingham Palace. There's 1, 2, 3, and then there's of course, Buckingham Palace, but it's a whole different Buckingham Palace Outdoor Learning. I mean, you may need to get Amanda to go ahead and register this name because it looks pretty familiar there. So I mean, you may want to look into that.
No, there's too much of it. She's already expanding and talking about it. I'm like, oh my God.
Should you put on some sunglasses? Or are you going
to clearly it's hurting my eyes right now.
Yeah, no shit.
Let me see if I can
if I make this bright enough, I don't have to wear my readers.
There we go.
There you go.
All right, I'm in dark mode now.
Look, even the dog in the background is keeping its eyes closed. That computer screen was so bright.
Pretty girl.
No kidding.
Yeah. But
oh my gosh.
But
I don't know.
So
let's not talk about chickens.
Why not?
Talk about Jeb.
Conversation. I think it's great.
You can have all the chicken eggs you want. I'll have her mail them to you.
Here we go. This is the Cluckingham Palace here.
Oh,
Randy. Yeah. There we go.
That's Mikey. Mikey's my guy. Y'all met Mikey. Mikey's unbelievably talented. And so rather than working in the office, he was building this.
And this is the one that Amanda locked herself into.
Yep. I had to do should have gone to bed. Yeah. So see that little latch? Oh, you can't see it. Ray, move over to the latch on the outside, the top one. That one. So she went in and somehow that barn latch closed on her. I swear I don't think I did it. Yeah, so she was in there. Because I left to run over to do this damn podcast that night, and then she was texting me, but I was doing the podcast. She was locked in there, and Bo was outside.
Look at the size of that egg.
Yeah, that's a big egg.
That's a huge egg. Like, I mean, it's almost as big as a beer can.
See, if they were laying vodka, they'd be the best damn chickens in the world. But ain't nobody like eggs
or gold eggs. This is what confuses me. I have never seen eggs come out teal.
So those are called Easter eggers.
Never heard of them.
Oh my God, yeah. So it's another form of chicken. I don't know what you call
Easter eggers.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're called. There's a breed.
We have gained 4 viewers since we started talking about eggs.
Yeah, it's
chickens.
Yeah, and I imagine everybody's ready to leave. So, and you can see, look at my wife's. I think that's my wife's boots. They're either hers or Delaney's. There's fucking chickens on them. Like she's gone crazy. We went from cats to chickens. I'm scared to death. She's gonna want boyfriends or cows. Like I don't know what to do with it, but. Anyway, yes, there's another breed of chickens, and they're called Easter eggers, and they lay like a bluish teal-colored egg. And then we have red chickens and black and white chickens.
Look at this shit.
I'm not sure
what we got here. Explain this.
I'm going to say smaller chicken and 2 bigger chickens. Like, I don't know. I think that was a first-time egg, or maybe it's a hard piece of poop. Not real sure.
First, the quote is, well, this is the first for us. Tiny egg. Guessing maybe a first egg for one of the hens.
There you go. See, Amanda explained it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We have a Facebook page for our chicken coop.
Do you?
I think that's great.
Cluckingham Palace. Are you sure? Did he seriously just say, do you? Yeah, this was one of our first TikTok videos.
Y'all have a TikTok page for the chickens?
No, I don't know. She's done TikToks with the chickens. But no, I mean, they can be somewhat fun. I usually just go in there because the rooster he's a dick. I mean, he's just an asshole. And he's tried to attack Amanda. He's tried to attack pretty much everybody but me. And now when I go to the chicken coop, he just goes in the corner and stands back and waits. Because I think he understands that not only will I kill him, but I would thoroughly enjoy doing it.
Like you really want to.
Yeah. Like secretly, it would be a blast to kill that chicken. So
growing up, good friend of ours. I mean, almost like a family member, not really a family member, but somebody who's really close to us. He raised fighting chickens.
Oh, see, now those would be cool.
They were.
They'd be better than chickens that lay eggs. You could bet money on them.
So, like coming up, like knowing that I would go out there and feed the chickens for him, and them fuckers were tethered off because if you got close to them, they would go after your ass and they'd go after each other. So I'd go out there and help feed chickens and stuff, but then we would actually train them, and they would actually take
train a chicken.
Like seriously. So what they do in chicken fights. Now, let me say this.
Like, do you yell kick left?
No,
when you're in the corner.
I do not condone fighting chickens.
What is Divers doing?
I don't know. I think he's
sorry. I'm here.
Porn. No, I do not condone fighting chickens. I think it's inhumane now. But growing up, I knew no better. I was just raised around fighting. People fought chickens, and we went to chicken fights, and my uncles went to chicken fights, and that's what we did.
They call them cockfights.
Yeah. So what they would do is they would take these little leather balls that they would put over the spurs and strap around. And then you take the chickens to get them to get ready to fight. Two guys would stand across from each other and take this chicken and just like start throwing them at each other. And you see the fucking feather.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they would spread out like this.
Yeah.
And you knew when to let them go because them fuckers would be like extended out.
They whip their heads back and forth.
Oh yeah, and they're sitting there like in the air, just trying to, Now in the chicken fights, they actually put razor blades on them bastards.
Yeah, to get it over with quicker.
Yeah, it was rough, but. I mean, you talking about some mean ass birds? That's why I don't like chickens. I've been chased by fighting chickens.
You go around, and our rooster's name is Truck because that's one of the words that Bo can say, and that was his chicken from where to go. And you go in there, and Amanda's in or anything like that. You get anywhere near any of those hens, and his neck just swells all up. And I go in there, and he'll run to a corner and then turn and swell his neck all up, and then he'll tuck away. But that's Truck right there, standing up. Yeah, he is a big son of a bitch.
That one,
that's him. Yep.
That's Truck.
Yep.
I'm glad we're getting to know your chickens, Andy.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I get to spend a lot of time with them. Amanda is going to be. She's somewhere. She's losing her mind that she's not hearing me talk about these.
She's not up here right now because if she was up here, she'd be all in the comments. I mean,
and I guarantee you, she would have sent Divers the $50 invoice by now.
Oh, 100 times over. And
she would have had that to you in a heartbeat. Yeah, would have been the first thing she did. So, yeah. So I mean, it was. I mean, I don't know if we're wrapping this up here soon or what, but I mean, going back, I mean, the Jeb thing's cool, and I know you got more to say with that, Divers.
I do.
You don't? Chickens.
Yeah.
No,
also true.
I do. But look, I could talk about it all day. So I think we're just, we're incredibly excited for Jeb and incredibly excited for what's going to happen next year. I'm hoping, obviously, that there's we get back to some sense of normalcy. I realize that is obviously heavily affected by what's going to happen with vaccines and all of that. But I know there are a lot of people in NASCAR, whether they're related to tracks or teams, that get it and that are very interested in getting back to sponsorship engagement and engagement with fans, because that's what drives the sport, and that's what makes the sport what it is.
Yep.
And that's what it has to be. And I think that there's a lot of understanding within those intimate in the sport that realize how important that is and how important it's going to be to the future of, continuing to grow NASCAR. And so, I think we're at a great point and at a good place where, Jeb's going to be in victory lane next year. I don't have any doubt about that.
No doubt.
And as I said earlier, and I know we all share the same sentiment, we just hope we're there when it happens. And so I just think it's a great thing. It's a great week, and in a year that's otherwise, full of crap news.
That's the one good thing in 2020.
That's probably one of the only things to hang on to this year. And so
you also had a child born. Yeah. Can you send that statement to Jen?
Yeah.
Hey, I think I just scored a lot of.
That's going to make the highlight reel.
Yep.
Hey, Ray, can we edit that out, please?
So the only good thing from this year is Jeb Burton getting the 10 car in Kaulig Racing.
I think I said one of the only good things.
I don't know.
Shep who?
Hey, it was nice knowing you, Divers.
Love my son very much. Both of them, they're great. They're wonderful, and I love my family. And just happy to be here at the end of the day. But no, Ray, edit that
hold on one second.
Yeah, edit that out, seriously.
This is very interesting to me. Look at this.
What is this?
That's Dale Jr.
Oh, it is.
Running a late model at Myrtle Beach.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Myrtle Beach. And then you moved to Florence. Let's move to Florence.
Hey, what's that ad on the right?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, what the hell?
I fucking don't know, man.
Yeah, right. Listen, I do this. No, yeah, I do this shit for a living. That ad's mine. Hey, I hope Brock is watching this shit.
Brock,
That's one of my ads running there for your company, Brock. Thank you very much. See, he changed it because he had some weird thing going on there. It was a dude in the shower with somebody going pee. Look at that deal's still on. Hey, y'all, anybody watching this?
Big friggin' sale.
That was supposed to be done at 8:00, and I don't know. I think maybe we're gonna leave it roll until the morning. But anyway, $64.99 for 128-ounce growler. Big Fig growlers are freaking amazing. These guys will attest to that.
Love big.
$29.99 right now, so $35 savings. So Brock, there's a plug. We're showing it live here, right now. That sale actually ended at 8:00 today. So you might want to do, there it is again, right? Go back up. What is this? Go back up to that ad.
It's a big friggin' sale is what it is. Christmas is coming up. If you are looking for something for your significant other, whether it's a tumbler or a cooler or, a hat or a koozie or whatever, big friggin' sale.
Big friggin'.
Ray, you were in my target demographic. That's another one of my ads.
12-hour auctions. That's another plug there, Andy. If you're interested in hunting.
Ooh, I need to update that ad.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So look, here's some LS tractor.
LS tractor. Yeah.
Where's Alsco at that? I wonder where's the Alsco? I mean, there's iRacing.
They're probably that's probably what the green on that junior car's for.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Well, I mean, there's no reason they don't do digital stuff.
No, yeah, they don't know the internet's around.
Yeah, so. They haven't heard of the World Wide Web.
There we go. Here we go. There we go.
We always know where.
There's some junior running at Florence Motor Speedway in the late model. They run in the car.
Hey, speaking as long as we're looking at racing stuff, before we end this tonight, I think we got to make comment of Phoenix. Really, that's where we're going to end the season.
Yeah,
I think that was potentially one of the boringest races I've ever watched part of in my life.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was pretty. Like now the cut. I will say this: the truck and Xfinity race, great race.
There's cautions at the end.
Great races, but yeah, I mean, I think it's.
What did Chase win by? Like 31 laps or something? Didn't it seem that way?
A little extreme.
Yeah,
but yes,
you get my point.
Yeah, I think they got to do something to tighten those guys up, especially there in Phoenix. It's a good track. They just got to figure the aero package out.
Phoenix is a great track for restarts.
Yes,
I mean that's the outside of restarts. There's not a whole lot of enjoyable parts of Phoenix Raceway, in my opinion. But the restarts are amazing when you can run the cars 5-6 wide like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, just something else interesting. I know, like I said, before we close it out, they were doing some testing on the next gen car in Charlotte this week. And evidently Kyle Busch or Kurt Busch, I'm sorry, and Martin Truex were not pleased with how the car was driving. They didn't like you heard quotes about like how good it was
Kyle
on the
Busch
road.
was not pleased with how the car was driving.
He said Kurt Busch. Don't start bitching.
Oh, Kurt. But no, they were like loved it on the road. Oh, it's a great car. I loved it. Da, da, da. But now it's like the as far as on the oval, they did not like it. They didn't expound on why they didn't like it. But it was about 2 seconds slower than the current car, which I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's a problem. Because that's the thing on like Facebook and Twitter, everybody was like, "Oh, it's slower than the current car. Xfinity cars are running faster." Da da da. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is it racy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If cars are going around the track at 60 miles an hour, but they're passing and they're banging and they're running and they're rubbing fenders, that's exciting to me.
Yep.
Not watching cars run 200 miles an hour 3 seconds apart.
Yeah, because it's really exciting for about a lap if you're there, and then it's just cars going around a track. Which I mean,
let's be honest. How many of us can sit there at the track watching a car go around the track and say that car is 2 seconds slower than that other? You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
It's more about the raciness, and so is it? My question on that would be, and I'd love to ask Jeb this. I mean, he hadn't been in that car, but as far as the handling of the car and stuff, like as a driver, do you want a car like they say that the Cup cars are that are glued to the track, wide open around Charlotte the whole time? You never lift. I mean, people were talking about Kurt like they had an in-car and he was literally like burping the gas and then getting right back on it. And they were like, "Oh, he's off gas." Look, burping the gas for a half a second or about 0.5 of a second don't mean shit. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering like how much of it they're so used to that new car where it's just stuck to the damn road and they're going around there versus they're actually having to drive the car. Do you listen to the driver? Where does that come from?
No, at some point I think NASCAR's got to listen to the fans.
Yeah.
Divers?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Of course they do.
Are they gonna?
Look, Fox said, "Friggin' A, sales are rolling in all of a sudden." I mean,
it's been a pretty good sale.
We need to start talking about some sponsorship.
Exactly right. The shit ain't free. Oh wait. Yeah, wait a minute.
He don't even know that.
Hey, maybe they could send us. We could get a big friggin' 128 ounces of liquid IV. We'd all be amazing. Every freaking Friday would be glorious.
Big friggin' liquid IV.
Friggin'
Somebody hook me up with a big freaking liquid IV.
That's a whole new line.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's. I don't know.
We've got to listen to the fans at the end of the day, and I was trying to like calm down on the way out, but I think they need to listen to the fans. At the end of the day, people want to see the cars bunched up. They want to see them race. They don't want to see a 4, 5, 6 second lead for the Kevin Harvicks. Is it going to happen from time to time? Sure. Yeah. Should it happen 3/4 of the time? No, absolutely shouldn't. And they've got to figure a way out with that. Hopefully the Gen 7 car, they can figure that out, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and you hear people say all the time, well, what, all you want to do is see wrecks. I don't want to see a bunch of wrecks, honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong. When wrecks happen, and it's exciting to see. But what I want to see is I want to see the bumping. I want to see the banging. I want to see guys going into a corner and having to catch the car to drive it. I want to see them driving the car because that separates the boys from the men. I'm sorry, but when Jimmy Johnson was whooping everybody's ass, it was because of car control.
Oh, I agree.
When he was whooping everybody's ass, those cars, they had to pedal them. He was so good at it and Tony Stewart was so good at it because those guys grew up on dirt and they knew car control out of that throttle. I mean, that's what's exciting to me when you got a guy sliding up with this, he loses his ass in with this guy slides under and now they're racing through the corner. And then, that's what I get excited about. I don't get excited about this.
No, I mean, following people when you go to make a pass, you push them so far out in front of you, you can't catch up to a guy. I mean, it's just they look, and that's part of the reason I like the Xfinity cars so much is because they can bang them up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and in the Cup cars right now, any piece of sheet metal damage basically ends a race for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and let them bang them up a little bit. Listen, I'm not looking to tear up cars, but having some guys spin and some stuff like that, you know, it makes it exciting for people to watch, right? Nobody watches, nobody talks about anything about, going back, but it's a reality. You go back to Days of Thunder, you know, with the old movie and stuff like that. If that movie was about Cole Trickle and everybody else following his ass around a racetrack, it would have been a boring ass movie. You know, it's about the damn crash. It's about the parts of it. And that's what's happening.
7-second lead.
Yeah. Congrats, Kroll. That was an amazing thing. We just had a 7-minute movie and it was you winning. Like, what the shit?
He beat everybody by 1,000th of a second. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Every win.
They're basically tied. Yeah, exactly right. You know, but that's my point is that's what builds excitement. That's what people want to see. They want to see the pass at the end. It's the same reason we're saying that Phoenix was enjoyable for the trucks in the Xfinity race because there was a last second ordeal. And I also have a major freaking problem with the fact that in Cup Series, I get it. Those 4 are the elite. They're the ones leading the way. But how is it that the top 4 guys always finish 1 through 4, and the guy that runs 5th this year is Jimmy Johnson? Is that his best finish of the year?
Yes.
You know, I made this point last week. Just FYI.
Did you? Okay,
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Were you even on last week?
What?
His picture was frozen,
No,
and he was
I'm
bitching about my internet.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Andy.
No.
I was on for parts.
Andy's picture was frozen last week because he was in some chair that we thought he may be in. We weren't sure.
I don't know. I'll go back and rewatch.
Yeah, rewatch.
But yeah.
All
But
right,
I
guys.
agree.
I want to share one thing, and then we're going to get off of here because after I share it, I think Andy's head's going to explode. Just to
I
see
don't even
what
want to do this. Oh, you fucking idiot.
Joe Biden wins Georgia.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have
Okay.
people counting fucking ballots that went to public schools in the United States that were shut down for fucking half a year.
It's
fucking
been
great.
fun.
It's been fun, but we got to go.
I'm fine. You can quote that shit for the rest of the year too. I don't care.
As you know, this is a shit show, so we don't know what we're doing next week with the holidays yet. So
We'll figure it
We're
out.
planning that right now. We're waiting for the government to tell us what to do.
Stay tuned to the Facebook page and all other social media outlets as we announce what we're going to do. But y'all have a great week. We look forward to seeing you soon, and have a great weekend.
Everybody have a good one.
Catch you later.
See y'all.